everyone. I, Jhalak Patel, Assistant Professor in LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Electronics and Communication, welcoming you to my channel for lecture of wireless communication. Today, I am going to discuss about the cellular concept with topic cell sectoring and microcell zone concept. Let's start with cell sectoring. Cell sectoring is one of the techniques for improving cellular cell capacity. There are also another technique like cell splitting, microcell zone concept and repeaters. We have already discussed about cell splitting and repeaters in the previous lectures. So today we are going to discuss about cell sectoring. Cell sectoring is basically used to improve signal to interference ratio. Here the size of cluster in a particular service area can be reduced because the cell sectoring increases the signal to interference ratio. In case of cell sectoring, it keeps the radius of cell constant and decreases the co-channel reuse ratio, which is D by R, means D by R ratio is decreased. Because of decrease in D by R ratio, the cluster size also reduces, because as we discussed in the previous lecture that D by R is nothing but equal to under root 3n. As D by R decreases, that's why the cluster size also decreases. Here we take different cases of cell sectoring. First of all, I take cell sectoring for 360 degree. Here sectoring of 360 degree means you have to divide the portion in 360 degree. Here whole portion is 360, so no need to divide it, means it provides 360 degree sectoring. Next is 120 degree sectoring. Here to provide 120 degree sectoring, you have to divide one cell into 3 different parts, because 360 divided by 3 provide us 120 degree. That's why for 120 degree you have to divide the whole cell into 3 equal sections like this. The next sectoring method is 60 degree sectoring. In case of 60 degree sectoring, you have to divide the whole cell into 6 different partitions, because 360 divided by 6 it provides us 60 degree sectoring. So this is 3 different cases of 360 degree, 120 degree and 60 degree sectoring. You can also opt for other degree sectorings like 180 degree or 270 degree, but for this you have to divide the cell accordingly. Here the role of directional antenna is also important. Here by considering the sectoring for different co-channel cells, you can understand the role of directional antenna. For this, you have to first calculate the number of co-channel cells. Like in case of 120 degree sectoring, first we calculate the number of co-channel cells. Consider this figure. This is the sectoring for 120 degree. As we discussed earlier, for 120 degree sectoring we have to divide the one cell into 3 equal partitions, because 360 divided by 3 equal to 120 degree. Okay, so first of all, then you have to make a partition into 3 equal parts and find out that each partition touches how many number of cells. Here if you look at this 2 number partition, then this 2 number partition touches 2 different cells. That's why the number of co-channel cells is equal to 2 in case of sectoring, 120 degree sectoring. Now we take case of 60 degree sectoring. In case of 60 degree sectoring, consider this figure. In 60-degree sectoring, we divide the cell into 6 equal partition, because 360 divided by 6 provide us the 60-degree sectoring provide us the equal partition, and in this case the number of co-channel cell is equal to 1, because again if you take any of the partition, like if we take here the partition 1, then it touches only one cell. If you take the partition 2, then also it touches one cell. Means for 60-degree sectoring, number of co-channel cells equal to 1. Okay. Now we understand the role of directional antennas. Here in this figure you can see that the base station with several directional antenna are replaced by omnidirectional antenna. It is possible to reduce the co-channel interference. Here at different points, you can see over here at point number 5, which is labeled as point 5, there are 3 number of co-channel sectors labeled 5 to the right of the center cell and at the center of the cell. Because of this type of arrangement, signal to interference ratio is improved. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of using cell sectoring? First of all, we consider the advantage. Obviously, the cell sectoring is used to get better signal to interference ratio, because it reduces the level of interference by dividing the cell into different sectors, and it keeps radius of cell as constant. Now, what are the limitations of using cell sectoring? First is effect on trunking efficiency, because if the total number of channels in a cell is subdivided and allotted to different sectors, then the trumping efficiency decreases. The next is number of handoff increases, because sectoring decreases the coverage area of specific group of channels. This increases the number of handoff. So these are the two major limitations of cell sectoring. Now, earlier we have discussed about cell splitting. So consider the difference between the cell splitting and cell sectoring. In case of cell splitting, it is a method of subdividing the congested cell into smaller number of cells by reducing the transmitting power, while in case of cell sectoring, it is a method of decreasing the co-channel interference. Here the main objective is to decrease the co-channel interference by using directional antenna. The next difference is, in case of cell splitting, the radius is decreased but we kept frequency reuse ratio as constant, while in case of sectoring it is completely reversed than cell splitting. Radius keeps constant and d by r is decreased. The third point for cell splitting is about subdivision. Here the cells are divided into smaller number of cells, while in case of cell sectoring, the cells are divided into different sectors, like we can take 120 degree or 60 degree or maybe omnidirectional type. Next is about signal to interference ratio. How to maintain the signal interference ratio in case of cell splitting and cell sectoring. So, in case of cell splitting, signal to interference ratio is reduced by the transmit power. Here, to maintain the good amount of signal strength and to decrease the interference level, the transmit power is maintained to such level, while in case of cell sectoring, improves the S by R ratio by using different types of directional antenna or by putting the directional antenna at the edges of different cells, as we discussed earlier. The next point is, in case of cell splitting, the number of handoff is less because large macro cells are dedicated to high speed traffic. This is the reason the number of handoffs will be less as compared to cell sectoring. While in case of cell sectoring, the decrease in coverage area of group of channels, it causes the increase in number of handoff. So the major difference is this point about handoff. Handoff in case of cell splitting is less compared to cell sectoring, and in case of cell sectoring it is more. The next is microcell zone concept. This is the last method of improving the cellular cell capacity. The main objective of this method is to decrease the number of handoff. As we discussed earlier about cell sectoring, that cell sectoring causes the number of handoffs more compared to cell splitting. Now, to reduce that number of handoff, microcell zone concept is used by one of the consideration. Here, microwave link or coaxial cable is used for connection, and here the role of strongest signal at different zones is very important, that we discussed later on. First of all, consider this figure. Here in this figure there are three zones with transmitter and receiver setup is shown. Here you can see that zone 1, zone 2 and zone 3. Three different zones are connected with radio equipment. For establishment of connection between zones and base station, here microwave link and or coaxial cable can be used, and it is connected with the zone selector. Here now how the strongest signal is maintained at different zones, because when a mobile user travels from one zone to another zone, then zone 1 will have the strongest signal with respect to base station. That's why cell retains the same channel. Here, when mobile travels between zone 1 within the cell, a handoff is not required, because of handoff is not required when user travels from one zone to other zone. That's how the number of handoff is reduced in microcell zone concept. Now, what are the advantages of this method? So, it improves the quality of handoff. Also, as we see, number of handoff is reduced because as user moves from one zone to another zone, handoff is not required. That's why number of handoff is reduced in this case. Next is low power transmitter is needed. As low power transmitters are used in each zone apart from control base station, here the effect of interference is reduced, which results in co-channel interference reduction and get better SIR, means signal to interference ratio is improved. You can use this type of microcell zone concept in highways and urban traffic areas, means where the higher velocity of users are using the mobile communication. In this, microcell zone concept is generally preferred. So this is our basic cellular cell concept. This is the end of unit 2. Thank you. If you have any query, you can ask me at my email ID.